Off the head, says referee Connor. Forward by Gasperini. Penalty, Benetton. Taken quickly, nobody can tackle him in the first 10 yards. Reno Smith is there, he's hit by 2. They're inside the 22, back with Wershen on his knees, flicks it out wide. Lamaro switches direction. Gasperini now, back into the 22 of Glasgow. A little more impetus now. Warning of hands. Benetton players scrambling for positions. Lamaro again, it is who receives, drives forward again. Just breaking through the tackle initially. Umaga, short pass in towards Gallagher. He's hit. Wershen. Izekor. 2 to bring him down. Umaga. Smith needs to be a little careful there. Izekor with the carry. Wershen. Favretto hit but stays on his feet. That's Williamson with the initial hit. Wershen seeks a breakthrough, but he's brought down nicely by Mackenzie Duncan, just holding on to his ankles, and another penalty to Benetton here.
There's a double blast on it on the whistle. I think Mackenzie Duncan's on the ball there. It's Patrick Schickerlin who has been penalised by not supporting his own body. I think initially he was supporting his own body weight, and it was such a long time waiting to be rewarded. He's saying his knees on the back of Wershen. I actually thought he was in a pretty good position initially, and because he was exposed for so long, and then the clear out came, he almost sunk down to protect himself and gave away the penalty. And in the law states you have to make a play at the ball if you're in that jackal position, so you should be trying to lift it or rip it or play the ball rather than just stop the attacking team playing it. So maybe Schickerlin could have been more kind of aggressive or positive to try in terms of lifting the ball, but it's a real tight call, and Umaga's going to take the 3. Quick play from Wershen for the quick tap though, wasn't he?
Yeah,
quick
superb.
as a flash in behind the defence.
Very good decision making. Wershen seems to be a lively addition to this Benetton lineup. Just counting down the clock a few additional seconds because Benetton have a player in the sin bin. Another 6 minutes to go for Canone, Nicolo Canone. 10 minutes to play and Benetton trail by 1. They've kept Glasgow scoreless for 40 full minutes now of game time. And it stays as a yellow is the call from Ben Connor. And fair.
Yeah, I think so. I think we said at the time. There's Malakai who would have to be assessed anyway. It's a shame, but yeah, kind of reckless tackle really remains a yellow.
From the restart, here is Lorenzo Canone.
The support as well, getting up. The Monigo's found his voice because it's tension the last 10 minutes, 1 point in it.
The audio levels have certainly risen, flags waving, and indeed passionate support base that is behind this Benetton side in Treviso. Become part of the fabric and culture of this city. Let's go from just inside their 22. Horn looks to spread it out wide.
In the back foot again, Glasgow a little bit, so don't be surprised if this goes up in the air. That's from Horn.
Ferguson.
Clever from Matt Ferguson, being ahead of the ball just in case it was one bit. Benetton did win it and he was in a profitable position.
Duncan with the carry. His sister Renika Bonner, Bristol Bears winger, also represents Great Britain at sevens. Here's Horn, record scorer for Glasgow Warriors. That's lovely from Ferguson out wide towards Steyn, who puts this straight down the line. Under pressure here is Umaga, some decision making to be made, but he's on his own. He's eventually bundled into touch.
Yeah, great kick again from Kyle Steyn. There was some wonderful hands on that right hand side just to get the ball to the right winger's hands, and then his excellent grubber kick through under control. Again, hit the top of the ball, almost just let the ball bounce off your foot because you're carrying so much momentum. Also worth saying, George Horn on that secondary effort. The defence 2v1, shutting off any pass or step to the inside and driving into touch. Well, I think Kyle Steyn's maybe winded in the process.
He's had a massive impact in his first match of the campaign here for his side.
We've mentioned him 2 or 3 occasions just in the aerial battle, winning those balls in there. You see,
Ian Ferry makes his way on. It's Benetton side that in the first half put up very little against Glasgow, but in the second half have largely been dominant. There's been some dominant moments as well from Gregor Brown, who makes way for Ferry.
Yeah, he always delivers a level of performance, Gregor Brown, but especially just here in the last 10 or 15 minutes where Glasgow have been up against it. He's made a series of number of really dominant tackles. He's got his body over the top of the ball to slow the possession down as well. So a big shift from Gregor Brown, and Ian Ferry will look to continue that.
Cosmopolitan character is Gregor Brown, who's spent some time playing around the world and spent some time growing up in Nigeria and Egypt as well. Firmly established now as one of the finest in Scotland, the man from Aberdeen, just 24, but he's off and Ferry's on. Hiddleston. Benetton needing to defend, they're down a player. Another 3.5 minutes for Nicolo Canone. Before they're back to 15. Horn changes direction. Looking for a way through again. Glasgow applying pressure in all the right areas. This time a little carry from Ferry. Some support from Williamson as well. And penalty to Benetton.
It's Lamaro, captain. Quick as a flash in over top of possession. Gregor Hiddleston does really well because he gets compromised in initial contact, but managed to fight for another metre. In there, he spins out and just gets another metre there, but then because the support players go off their feet, it's the tiniest window for Lamaro to get over the top of the ball, and he wins the penalty for his side.
Introduction of Giuliano Avacca. He's making his way on and very much a utility back. Largely plays as a fly half or fullback. Excellent kicking game does Giuliano Avacca, whose older brother Enzo is a prop forward for Benetton. This is not good news for Tuipilotu, looks a little uncomfortable.
So Dan Lancaster will come on. Rhino Smith moved to the wing for Avacca to go to 15 for Benetton.
Oh, that's good on the line out from Glasgow, and then they make a hash of it. It's collected by Ferry eventually after a little bobble. Horn goes over the top, but he's gone directly out of play. It's confirmation of the change. Garbisi off and Avacca on.
Some nerves on both sides in the final 5 or 6 minutes or so. That was the Benetton line that was overthrown. It was picked up by Glasgow. Looked fairly comfortable winning the ball against the throw, and then struggled to deal with the bobbling ball. And unforced error with a kick going straight out, hands momentum back. It's maybe symbolic that it is all on halfway, because neither team in that phase really looked that comfortable with the pressure on.
Well, much of the second half has been in Glasgow territory. Much of the first half was spent in Benetton territory, which if you reverse at half time means that one half of this audience has seen a great deal more rugby than the other. But in all seriousness, Benetton are seeking a victory because they want to be hosting the Lions next Saturday with a win under their belts. Glasgow, they've got Dragons next Saturday before they visit Ospreys the weekend after that, and then they've got the Bulls in round 5. Lovely take from Rowe. Horn. Wow. Oh, it's going to be called as the scrum for Benetton for the knock-on. This confirmation, Lancaster on, Dan Lancaster on for Tuipilotu.
Another good take in the air from Kyle Rowe from the short kick from Horn, and then just as Horn goes to play it, it gets caught on, I think it's Finlay Richardson's foot. Just knocked on, but again you can hear the Monego rising. There's a real atmosphere building, there's a real tension in the air.
And they're back to 15. Celebrations as Nicolo Canone made his way back on. Very strong player. Only took up rugby at the age of 14 because his brothers were playing. Remarkably, he's gone on to be so superb as he always is in collisions and wall work, his tackling, his scrum support. Worshen stands over the feed, just over 3 minutes to play. Benetton trail by 1. They're inside Glasgow territory. They've got some work to do. If they can apply some pressure though, maybe a penalty in the offing for Umaga to try to seal it in the closing moments of this tie. Again, the big drives forward. Ganones both getting involved. Worshen now towards Favretto, who's put in a very strong 77 minutes so far. Starting alongside Snyman. Lamaro forward. Worshen quickly to it. Out to Umaga. Skips one. Menoncello now tucked in behind him. Receives the pop pass, but he's held up in the tackle here.
And so hold him up in the maul. Referee's called maul, and there'll be a turnover for Glasgow. That'll be well celebrated. The key function there, or the primary thing for Glasgow there, was to defend well and not concede a penalty. Benetton were almost, looks like they were playing for a penalty, weren't they? Playing for that opportunity. But Glasgow did well to hold their defensive line, not to stray offside, and then when they saw the opportunity for the hold-up tackle, worked together. George Horn was in there as well in order to force the turnover. Now we've got another penalty. I actually thought Schickerlin was unlucky not to win a penalty at that last scrum against Shilocki, but we played off it, so we'll see how this one goes.
A tense final 2 minutes in the offing here. Benetton against Glasgow, separated by 1 point. Glasgow with possession, and they're inside their own half.
You have a chain of thought that Glasgow viewers or Glasgow supporters watching and say, get the ball and kick it as far as you can down the field, and there'll be another proportion, so, keep the ball, keep the possession. For me, you want to get this ball down the field and chase really well.
Quickly out. Oh, it's flat out of the hand. Is it forward though? And I think Ben Connor says it is forward. How costly might that prove?
You just get the feel when you're away from home and there's only a point in it. Territory becomes really important in the final moment. What has to follow a kick is a chase, and a really aggressive, hard, physical chase. It fills the field. You can see what Glasgow try to do. This is their DNA. They want to attack that space. If that ball's not forward, then Kyle Rose on the edge and the outside, Ryan Smith, and he can push that ball through if he wants. So it's tactically it's clever in isolation, but I think in these scenarios you're probably better to kick long and chase. But teams want to stick and be true to their DNA. Maybe I'm just old-fashioned.
Well, we thought this might come down to the last 10-15 minutes, but it's coming down to the very last minute, separated by a point, and maybe Benetton have had an impact off the bench, certainly. They've been
impact the whole second half, really, haven't they?
They did. They started on the front foot so brilliantly in the second half, and they managed to convert it the second time of asking points. Well, it is quite remarkable that Glasgow have not put points on the board since the 30th minute in this game.
And we spoke about that moment, and we've referenced it twice, I think. 38.5 minutes where Glasgow just were penalised for Benetton were rewarded for a brilliant piece of scramble defence. A moment like that, 2 minutes from half-time, and we said at the time this could have a big effect in the game, and it has. Kept Benetton in it, and then they came out and scored early in the second half.
The other thing I think that might have hurt them is the fact that they failed to score when Benetton were down to 14. In fact, Benetton were the only team that scored when they were down at 14.
Penalty, didn't they?
Umaga taking the 3. They've got the territory now. Can they force the penalty from their opponents? It's a tense finale. So Chris Patterson, if he were sitting, would be on the edge of his seat right now. A very tense finale. PKT United Rugby Championship coming down to this. 45 seconds remaining. Benetton trail by 1. Worshen finds Menoncello, who looks for the big driving run. He's taken on Horn and gained a few yards. Worshen, Izekor now looks to break into the 22, and he does just about that. Worshen takes his time about thinking about where he'll go, finds his captain, Lamaro, the talismanic leader of this side. Ganones want to get involved. Ziluki is there as well, but it goes the way of Gasperini, who's having a fine debut for Benetton. He's been lively off the bench.
It's all about discipline from the Glasgow point of view. It's all about just maintaining possession from a Benetton point of view to create that opportunity.
So, hoots are about to sound. We are coming up towards 80 minutes. Can Benetton produce a moment of magic in the closing moments? We're beyond the 80-minute mark. Last play of the game. Are they going to go for the drop goal? Worschen shaped, and then Lamaro picked it up and looked to take it forward. And that is going to be a warning. Ball back, the drop goal. Is it good? It's there! It's there! Benetton claim the win, courtesy of Reno Smith. He knocks over a drop goal just after the 80-minute mark, and they claim a sensational victory at home. A splendid finish. Chris Patterson, you'd be proud of that.
Oh, he's a box of tricks. You mentioned the impact off the bench, and Reno Smith, he really brings, he's like a firecracker, he brings so much, but he's got that quality. He had a long-range effort from a goal line dropout early on that just missed, and then maybe that set the tone. This on penalty advantage, 40 metres out, and he celebrated immediately because he could see that it was right down the middle. And he's won the game as the clock turns red.
Reno Smith